disclaimer, in this video I'll be talking to you about the pain body. So if you've read the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, you'll be familiar with this idea of what he talks about as the pain body. This has also been talked about by other people, but we'll stick with his idea of it in this video. If you haven't read the book The Power of Now, I highly recommend you go ahead, check it out. It's probably one of the most popular modern spiritual books out there. And every time I reread it, my understanding deepens. So I think it's one of them books that you can just keep going back to maybe once a year to really help you get that deeper understanding from it. And having gone through it again, I come across this pain body material again, and I felt inspired to talk about it because I believe that when you understand this, you can also start to see how you can free yourself from this pain body so you can live more authentically, freer, and really live the type of life you truly want to live. Okay, so it's very, very powerful information and knowledge to understand. So what is this pain body? Well, as Eckhart explains in the book, the pain body is like an entity, let's say, which sounds scary, but it's like an energetic entity that everyone kind of has their own individual entity. This entity is built or laid down in our bodies based upon emotional wounds that we pick up. Mostly, I guess, during the early years of our life. Things happen to us and we carry the residue of that emotional pain in our bodies. So these early wounds almost form the structure of the pain body. Then what happens is the pain body gets stronger as we grow older. This happens because we identify with the pain. And when things happen in our reality or in our environment that resonate with the pain that we carry, it strengthens our pain body through our identification with it. So let me give you an example. A common one, is people don't feel like they're good enough. Very common misconception and belief that many people have about themselves now. So if someone has that belief, they'll have the emotion. They'll carry that pain in their body, emotionally and energetically. So they will view reality through the lens of their pain. Now, when things happen to them, let's say they lose their job, they will see them losing their job through the lens of them not being good enough. They will look at nearly everything that happens in their life through their pain. So their pain body really colours their whole experience of life. And when we live in this way, it's very difficult to not become identified with it, because we identify with the pain. Like, I've lost my job, that must mean I'm not good enough. We're identifying with the story. That strengthens the pain that we're carrying. That strengthens the pain body, and this entity is energized. And we continue to feed it throughout our lives. Every time we get triggered, that's when it tends to happen the most. I think we're all familiar with times when we get triggered. Every time that happens, that is our pain body becoming active. It's becoming energized. And what you'll understand is that the pain body for most people isn't active all of the time. It's maybe active, dormant should I say, maybe dormant most of the time. It only becomes activated when we are triggered by a person or a situation. Then it comes out. That's the moments we lose control. We don't know what we're doing. We do things out of character. That's a pain body attack. So it's so key that you can begin to catch these, because that awareness will begin to break the identification with it. Some people are 100% living through their pain body all of the time. This could be someone who's in a severe depression. Depression is all of their pain just constantly with them. They're consciously living it all of the time. Angry people who are always angry or resentful, they're just living through their pain. The pain is just being projected out into the world all of the time. Maybe you know people like that. It's not a nice person to be around. But most people, I believe, can keep a lid on it, but it does still come out in certain situations, and it's difficult to handle because the momentum behind it, this pain has been with us for decades, and it runs us behind the scenes. And only with awareness and catching the triggers can we begin to break that identification. As we stop identifying with the pain, the triggers, as they come up, as we watch them, we withdraw energy from them, and slowly it runs out of steam. It's like a system, it's like it wants to stay alive. It's so weird how this works, but it's this energetic emotional system in our bodies that wants to stay alive. It's not good or bad, it just wants to survive, and it survives through our identification with it. So we need to break that identification by catching the triggers. Who are the people that make you react? What situations, what experiences? Really begin to catch them when they happen. It takes practice, but you can develop it into a habit, and then you'll begin to catch these situations every time they happen. And slowly over time you begin to gain power over these triggers. That's when you know you are kind of winning the battle. You can call it a battle. I like to call it a battle. I like to say it's as though I'm wrestling. I'm wrestling with my pain body. It doesn't happen overnight, but with continuous practice and wrestling, you start to suss it out. At the beginning, it has so much power. It's as though you were wrestling like a world championship wrestler. You just keep losing every time. Every time the pain body takes you over, takes you over, takes you over. But slowly, over consistent habitual practice and discipline, you start to find ways of beating it, overcoming it. You start to suss out its moves. It's very slippery, very, very intelligent, but with consistency of catching it, wrestling with it, you start to find a way out. And slowly, because you know all of its moves, it can't trap you anymore, and you free yourself. And once you are free, you become a very powerful person. Because you're in conscious control of everything. No one, no person, no situation has a hold over you. You're free. So this is the kind of magnitude of doing this work. It will free you from your pain. You will be able to go out into the world and just do whatever you want to do. It's very, very important work. So the final point I would like to make is that the pain body will look for things that it resonates with. Like I said at the beginning, it will view situations and reality through that lens. As we know, reality for the most part has no meaning. It's not good or bad. It's the meaning that we put on it. So whatever pain you are carrying, that is what you are going to project onto your reality, onto the situations and people in your life. And that's why it's important to catch the triggers. The triggers are constantly telling us what we need to look at within ourselves. It's never out there, it's always going on in here. So do the work to develop the awareness, the present, to start to catch these. And like I've just said, you're going to be free and you're going to be awesome and very, very powerful. Okay, so that is everything that I have to speak about on this topic. If you have anything to add, if you read the book, if you haven't read the book, if you have your own ideas, hit me up in the comments. I do really enjoy reading them. Otherwise, if you like the video, if you could please go ahead, give it a thumbs up, share it with your homies if you think they need to hear this message. Subscribe to the channel and please remember to hit that bell notification. And until next time, remember to keep living free and being free.